Live from the Rush Point Studios, it's the Pat Bryan Show.
It is the Pat and Bryan Show.
The Bryan Show.
Yeah. Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night. Well, not every Tuesday night, because we've had a few that we haven't done. But that's just the way it is. So,
Brian was just playing Skip the Miloo.
yeah, pretty much. So hope everybody had a good week. And mine was kind of monotonous, but I'm not going to go into that.
So a normal day for you?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So anyway, we were going to talk about the Constitution tonight, and we do invite you to chat on our chatting page here on YouTube. We are live, and so if you've got something you want to input, by all means, do so. Input.
95, he's lying.
And then we're also going to be talking about guns in our teachers' hands.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, because I was thinking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
You know, my question, I have a couple of questions, actually.
Sure.
They're talking about arming the teachers.
Yeah.
You know, now, what about the students? Are the students, younger generation, going to get a little scared coming to class seeing a teacher with a gun? Are they going to be concealed? Are they going to have it hidden somewhere where it's easily accessible? They're going to have lock boxes in there. How are they going to handle that?
I have no idea. No
But
idea.
personally, with all the crap and the hatred and the stupidity and the idiocy in the world right now,
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But there's got to be an educational process along the way so the children can go to school and not feel afraid because a teacher has a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, they got to be made to understand.
I can understand why they do it. They probably have. They're probably going to have the teacher or somebody else in the faculty have a weapon because we've got so many stupid school shootings.
Now,
and I would think and hope that they would go through some sort of training. So.
you're talking about gun safety?
Are you spitting tobacco tonight or what?
No, I'm just making sure there's no dust on my beer.
Oh, okay.
And that's ginger beer, folks, not real beer.
So is it like ginger ale type stuff or what?
Well, it's a ginger beer.
I don't know. I've had ginger beer before, but it's been a while. And
Well, it's made with ginger, carbonated water.
I didn't care for it too much.
I like it.
Oh, good. Good for you.
You can mix it with alcohol too, but I don't.
Yeah. I don't drink alcohol.
No.
Not anymore.
No.
Haven't in a long time. So,
I don't drink it very often.
yeah. Well, anyway, so we're going to talk about the Constitution. How many of you really think that you know the Constitution? I know there's a lot of people that will quote the Constitution or the amendments. I mean, there's the Bill of Rights, which is the First Amendments. There's 10 of those, but there's more since our government has been in business.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's been. But
there's so many subsections
oh my God
of the Constitution, reading. I mean, like, I can't remember most of the stuff, all of the stuff I read, because there were so many I don't know what you call it, sub whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath them, it's
subheading.
Yeah, thank you. Subheadings.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Constitution says this, but yet they've amended it for this. No, why?
Yeah.
Why are they taking what our forefathers done and revamped it to their likings?
I mean, I understand part of it, and I think it's fair to say that a lot of the language back then is old, and it's kind of hard for a lot of people to understand. But in the same effect or the same breath, there is some stuff, some amendments that have been rewritten that you'd have to be in politics to understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not in politics.
Me neither.
And don't really care for them that much, but there is a lot of different opinions that have been produced through our Congress legislative system. So
Well, let's get one thing clear and stated out there.
I'm not a crook. Okay, yeah,
Just know that we agree to disagree with a lot of things.
yeah.
Doesn't mean, you have to have an argument. Well, I'm right, you're right. Let's not do that.
No, and I'm not going to talk about persecution because heavens to Betsy, heavens to Murgatroyd, even we've had so much persecution when it comes to people. I don't like the way you think, so I'm gonna come down in you hard.
Well, see,
I'm gonna egg your house or whatever. It's like,
well, see what you just said right there.
Yeah.
Makes me think. Okay, world's starting to go to war.
Yeah.
Okay, and what you just said sums it up in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't like what you said.
Sorry.
I don't like what you said, so I'm going to bomb you.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. I'm going to go kill 3,000, 4,000 people because I don't like what you said.
Yeah, and it's just a stupid thing. And if you people, I mean, some like Putin, as far as I'm concerned, is another Hitler.
That's Putin, not Putin.
Putin.
He's not made of pewter.
I've heard him called Putin or Putin. So that's why I'm going Putin.
Okay, so it's made of pewter.
Yeah. So anyway, I would compare him to Hitler or Stalin. Just not good people, and or even Saddam Hussein or Saddam Insane when he was around. It's like,
how about Ayatollah Humana?
Well, Khomeini.
Yeah, Khomeini.
Yeah.
I said Humana. Sorry.
Or Kim Jong-un from North Korea. I mean, it's just like these people get power in their hands and then they just go rampant with it.
Well, they get power, and what happens when somebody gets power? They want more.
Yeah.
And more.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know.
What's it going to prove?
So we want to talk a little bit about the Constitution tonight. And we're also, again, going to be talking about guns in schools in the hands of teachers or faculty. And again, if you've got a comment you'd like to chime in on, we would appreciate it. I just wanted to shout out to a guy by the name of Thomas down in the Arden Hills area. I met over the past week here. Nice guy. He had some pretty good things to say about how divided the country has become. And I said, well, we've been divided for quite a long time, if you think about it. But it's getting worse. And we can agree to disagree, as you say, a lot of times. And but anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to Thomas and hope you're listening this evening at work or wherever you're at. So can you quote any amendments to me? Like, what's your Fifth Amendment? I want to plead the Fifth.
Oh, to stay silent, so anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law?
Well, no, that's the Miranda Act.
Yeah. But if you also plead the Fifth,
if you plead the Fifth, it's just stating that you don't want to get your ass in a sling, basically, by saying something.
Same thing what I just said.
No, I understand, but I'm just saying that one is for the Miranda Act for getting arrested or whatever. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. So, but yeah, and let's see, what's the amendment to bear arms?
Second Amendment.
Is that the Second Amendment?
That's the Second Amendment.
Okay. How come this thing's not coming up? Huh, weird. Well, I know that let's see if I can make it open a new tab here. Maybe that'll come up now. Well, read the Bill of Rights. It's not doing a dang thing. It was earlier, now it's not working. Stupid thing. Well, that's what you get by going to a government website. Archives.com or archives.gov. But yeah, there's just so many different things that they had put out as far as the amendments go all those years ago.
Bill of Rights, Second Amendment.
Bill of Rights, Second Amendment. Oh, that's you're doing it. Okay. I forgot to bring my iPad out.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Here.
All right.
Careful.
a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed upon. Well, I've got bare arms. I don't have much hair at all on my center, so. I know. Smart ass. I know I am. Or better than a dumbass, I guess. But anyway, I mean, there's a lot of different amendments that we have. Should we rewrite the amendments?
No.
Well, I think some of them we should.
Well, see, I didn't go through every single one of them
Mhm.
because it just got so boring.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's written in a way that
It's hard to understand.
I call it very loose politics.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it sounds that way, but it's not necessarily that way. And it's kind of the way the politics are going these days. Politicians are very crooked. A lot of them are.
Yeah.
Not saying all of them are, but I'm saying quite a few are, especially when they're lining their own pockets and not doing stuff for the benefit of the people of the United States. And
The politicians just enjoy putting us trillions of dollars in debt.
well, here's the other thing too. We've got judges out there that think that they're so high and mighty that I'm a judge, so I can make a ruling and make it stick. It's like somebody trying to say that former President Trump, can't run for office again.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, what right does a judge have to say about that? It shouldn't be any one person. It should be
We the people.
we the people.
It's
Exactly.
right there at the very top
Yeah.
of the Constitution. We the people.
Right. So what gives? I mean, why do we, and they're talking about Juneteenth,
Juneteenth.
the big storming on the Capitol, and that was supposed to be the fault of former President Trump. Personally, I think that needed to happen a long time ago.
Well, see, what bothers me about that ordeal is nobody remembers Trump saying, stand down. Proud Boys stand down.
Yeah.
Okay. But he did say, if you want to keep America alive, you want to keep it good, you're going to have to fight like hell.
Yeah, you are.
His words, you're going to have to fight like hell. He didn't say go to war, cause a riot.
No.
He told people to stand down before the riot even happened.
Yeah.
But yet they still want to hold him accountable.
Well, of course.
Well, why?
Because nobody likes him.
Of course not.
The
Because,
the Democrats, some Republicans don't like him.
well, hey,
But we don't like you either. So we're going to do this. We're going to go out on the witch hunt. And
we're gonna make all of the United States hate Trump.
right.
But it's backfiring
Mm-hmm.
because people know what Trump was trying to do when he was in office.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we're talking politics, folks, but
Mhm.
it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Trump started doing something with this country,
Yeah.
and people were benefiting from it.
Yeah.
But the other liberals and the Democrats and whatnot did not like it. The people did not like Trump. Said, "Oh no, we cannot have this. We got to control America."
And I've always said that we needed a business person, whether it be male or female, but somebody that knew how to do business, how to conduct business. And like the millions of barrels of oil that he got for next to nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, and then Biden turns around, he's going to sell that.
Yeah, to China.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell are you doing, you moron?
He sold off more stuff to China than any other president. I mean, he's in bed with China so deep it's ridiculous.
Well, it's like this: all the steel, all the metal that is produced in the country here
Comes from China.
Well, and I'll tell you why it comes from China, because the scrap metal that's being sold goes to China.
Then it gets refurbished and redone, and it gets shipped back to us for a higher price.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna have a cigarette.
Yeah, go ahead. Like I care. No.
But it's again, if you want to chime in and say something about this, by all means. And I'm actually trying to figure out a way that we can actually take phone calls in the studio, because I'd like to get some of your concerns out there as citizens. And maybe you don't have any comments,
Or you just don't care.
or just don't care. I don't know.
I mean, granted, the world's going to hell in a handbasket, but it's going to keep going that way until
Somebody does something.
somebody does something. Somebody stands up and said, "That's enough."
Yeah.
You know, we're human beings.
Mhm.
Everybody fights. Everybody gets mad.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say, "Well, I'm so goddamn mad. I'm going to go frickin' shoot somebody."
No. And
Hey,
that-
I was nice with my word that time.
yeah. And it doesn't make any sense to do that, really. I mean, if they disagree upon something, sit them down, and they might say no and no and no until they're blue in the face. But that's the only way to resolve things is to talk it out. There's no resolution when you shoot it out. None whatsoever.
What does it solve, really? Oh, I'm right. Bang, you're dead.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of people. That's all there is
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
It's like Hitler. He had this weird vision that he wanted to create an Aryan nation of blondes.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, really? I mean, and he saw the or I should say he painted a picture of the Jewish people being terrible for their country. In fact, that they were probably better than anything he ever had. But he had to come up with something so he could, get the people going, stir them up,
Yeah, but it backfired in his face.
And he was actually a very good speaker. I mean, I've watched a lot of stuff on Hitler. I just like the history kind of stuff of the world. Doesn't mean that I appreciated anything he did, because everything that he did was negative toward the world and toward people. So, and then you get other people that will say, "Oh yeah, there was no mass genocide. They all killed them.
Bullshit.
They all killed themselves."
Yeah, okay.
It's like, I don't know what world you're living in, or dreamland or whatever. So, but anyway, so we're talking basically about the Constitution tonight. Do you have any comments out there for us? If you'd like to, you can email them into us. Our email address is patandbrianviral@gmail.com. Again, that's patandbrianviral@gmail.com. You can also leave your comment in our chat section on our live YouTube show. And you can also, if you would just rather go to our fan page on Facebook, it's the Pat and Brian Show fans page. So, were you trying to get my attention? Oh, okay.
Watch your ashes.
Yes, mother. Watch your ashes. Sound like a nagging woman.
Hey now. That's a bad thought. That's a bad thought.
Yeah. So, and one of the other things we want to talk about tonight too, and we'll probably mix the two together because, I kind of think they're related in one way or another. So the right to bear arms, yeah. So, I know for a long time that Biden's been trying to get the guns off the street because it's guns that kill people. It's not people that kill people.
Oh, so a gun's going to jump out of a box, off the shelf, or out of the cupboard and go, "Hey, I don't like you. Bang, you're dead."
Yeah, exactly. And
remote control gun. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
I'm 10,000 miles away, but my gun's going to kill you.
Yeah. It's just stupid things like that. People just really don't think. And I think what we need to do is, we do have to have some gun laws. And you got, I think we also, I know for a fact that we need to reincorporate the mental health centers of America.
Yes.
That's really the
that's a big thing. They've been closing them down and closing them down.
Yeah.
Why?
And you got people that are off balanced. I've said that I've suffered from depression pretty much all my life. Doesn't mean I'm going to go out and kill somebody. No, not necessarily. But
if that was the case, I'd be dead a long time ago.
Yeah, and if there's there's people out there that maybe not on medication and need to be.
Yeah.
And I know how I felt when I didn't have any medication. It's like the difference between night and day. So, do I think that teachers or faculty in schools should have weapons? Yes and no. I mean, I want my child, or I should say, I would want my child to feel safe to go to school. And if we have to have weapons that are, we're arming the teachers to help out with that.
Well, see that, I agree with you,
I know.
but my problem is, okay, teachers are going to have guns.
Mhm.
What happens when one of those teachers snaps and grabs that gun?
That was my next point. Yeah.
And what I I agree with it, but yet I disagree with it
Mhm.
because of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that it's kind of like a two-sided coin, and you just don't really know how to read a lot of people. Um, and you can't, a lot of times you can't read people like a book, just because you don't see all the aspects of them. So
it's not like everybody's Charles Xavier from the X-Men. Get into people's heads and see what they're.
I've never seen the X-Men. So
Okay, well, those X-Men fan out there, you know who Charles Xavier is.
I've
The
heard
Mentalist.
the name, yeah, but that's about it. But yeah, it's really it's mind baffling
Yeah.
to see how many of us people are mentally stable.
Well, the mind is a fickle thing.
It is. I mean, you think about it. We take so much. The brain takes so much information in, and it's hard to erase a lot of that stuff. If you and if you have a mental issue where you're maybe depressed about something, or you lost a loved one, or a family member, or a child, or something's bothering you. You're like a Sybil, where you've got multiple personalities, schizophrenia. Yeah.
Paranoia, schizophrenia,
So I mean, there's so many different.
split personality, multiple personality.
Sounds like you're talking about experience here.
Brian.
Yes, I've got multi personalities going on here too.
But no, and I know that a lot of therapists and doctors and things like that have labeled people and will continue to label people the way they think.
Well, see,
Um,
I got a problem with these so-called mental doctors, because sometimes I wonder how many are corrupt.
Yeah.
How many say, "Well, yeah, he's mental," when the person or persons that are perfectly fine,
Yeah.
these doctors are saying they're mental and want them locked up.
well, it's kind of like, you're talking about, what was that word you used? That you thought the doctors were what?
Corrupt.
Corrupt. Yeah. Well, think about this. We've got a government that is so corrupt
No, no kidding.
that when COVID hit, they got every hospital got a grant from the government for each person that got sick from COVID. So they actually made money. They actually made money plus the insurance money from the people that got sick, their insurance companies. So how is that ever fair?
It's not.
You're talking about hospitals that are nonprofit. I can guarantee you that they are for profit. You can't tell me that.
You cannot tell me there's any hospital out there that's non-for-profit.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of malarkey.
It is. $49 now for Alina if you want to use the MyChart to message a
Stop.
doctor.
I'm going to stop you there because I saw my doctor. That is not true.
No, you.
That is up to the doctor, because I talked to
No,
my
it
doctor
is.
in person.
It is up to the doctor.
It's up to the doctor whether or not they want to charge you.
Yeah, right.
But
Mhm. It is there.
it's there.
Yeah,
And most doctors are
Mhm.
greedy enough to say, "Give me your money."
just about got into a fight there.
Well, hey, let me take out my pea shooter. Bang! I'm right. You're wrong.
Oh, my.
Oh wait, that goes into the heading we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, our government needs to be dealt with. I think what
It needs to be washed.
well, it does. I mean, we need
We the people, I'm sorry to keep interrupting you.
no. That's fine.
But we the
I'm
people
used to it.
have the right. We have the right to stand up, go to the government and say, you're out of office.
Yeah.
It's not up to the politicians. It's up to we the people.
And you've got so many politicians in there that have been in there for
decades.
oh my gosh.
Look how long Pelosi was in there.
Well, how about what was that
Schumer.
Thurgood Marshall? Was it?
Yeah.
Wasn't he
Marshall
from-
Thorogood or
some-
whatever.
I think he was from Kentucky or Tennessee or something around that area. But he was in there for what 30 or 40 years. It's like really.
Yeah. Well, what I don't understand is how these lifelong politicians can be in their posts for so long,
Yeah.
but yet the president can only have 4 years.
Yeah.
That makes no
Well,
conceivable
they,
sense.
They could have 8 years.
Well, they got to get reelected.
Yeah. Yeah.
But these other politicians who've been there 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
How do they rate?
Yeah. I think I would vote for Jesse the Body Ventura for president if he wanted to run. I would.
Wasn't he governor of Minnesota at one point?
He was, and I thought he was a pretty good governor. I wasn't living in Minnesota at the time, but now I don't know him personally, but I've met him before. He's a very nice guy, and he doesn't take crap from anybody, and nobody should.
Well, he's like Trump.
Yeah, and does Trump make mistakes? Yeah, he's a human being just like the rest of us.
Well, his last mistake cost him $83 million.
Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. How long ago was that lady?
2003, 2019, or 19 something. I don't know.
I thought it was further back than that.
I don't know.
But all of a sudden she comes out of the woodwork too. And
No, he defamed me.
yeah, I want $83 million. $83 million. How do you put a price on that?
Well, they gave her 16 something million in punitive damages. What the hell is punitive?
Alexa, what's the definition for punitive?
The adjective punitive is usually defined as serving for, concerned with, or inflicting the act of punishing.
Okay, so all right, straight from the horse's mouth. Yeah, I know. What is the Scrabble score for punitive? I have no idea. Don't care. But anyway, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I could see $5 or $6 million, but really $83 million.
Well,
How do you? It's like these people that put a price on a life. The courts that put a price on a life. How do you put a price on a life? It's priceless.
Yeah.
A life is priceless, regardless of if it's a man, woman, child, or whatever. I mean, it's just one of those things that I think is stupid. Bella Romano says, I believe she was only asking for $1 million, and the judge awarded her the $83 million. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me a bit, Bella, because here again, they're out to destroy his character, out to destroy him, and I'm talking about Trump. They're trying to destroy Trump. I like Trump. I voted for Trump. I think he should be back in office again. Just for the main reason he was doing so many good things, like Pat said, and a lot of people didn't like it, and there were people out there that was just livid. There's
also another thing people don't take into consideration. What Trump was doing, he never took a paycheck.
Yeah,
Never.
I know, and that's the other thing too. Oh, and this really burns me. Remember all that money, the stimulus and all that stuff that came through?
Yeah, that people are being taxed on now.
Yeah, that is another thing for the government. So you don't think he should be held accountable for his screw ups?
I'm not saying that he should not be held accountable for his screw ups.
No,
everybody should be held responsible for their screw ups, but not to the point where it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, $83 million is a tad bit ridiculous.
It is.
$16 million for punitive damages. Come on.
Yeah.
Just because a man's a billionaire, people hate him. They want to crush him. They want to break him financially.
Right.
And
they think that's going to do it.
I mean, if anybody's doing any defamation, it's the politicians, the courts. You know,
Yeah.
these people coming out of the woodworks that you've never ever heard about until now.
Mhm.
You know, why? Oh, because the government says so. We need somebody to come out and say he did this, this, and this.
Yeah.
How do you actually prove it? Do you have video of it? Do you have
Yeah.
do you have tapes? Do you have
Oh, it's all hearsay.
yeah, it's hearsay.
But it's hearsay is not supposed to be allowed in court. So, yeah, Bella comes back and she says, "Yeah, you hit people where it hurts." Yeah, in the financial.
Yeah, you
right in
hit
the
them where
wallet.
it
Yeah.
hurts, but man, don't be ridiculous about it.
You keep talking. I got to grab the water.
No, I just don't agree with the way they're trying to handle this stuff. They want Trump out, you know, do it the right way. Use the votes. You know, the voting system works unless they do what happened. You know, Trump still thinks that the election was stolen from him.
I think it was.
And a lot of people agree to that. But, you know, you can't argue with the politicians. They're the
Well,
politicians. I will do no wrong. You know, bullshit.
There was something about it, I think, on either 60 Minutes or something along those lines. One of those networks did a news story on how many ballots were sent out to dead people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or how many people were getting paid to fill these things out. And just going through a phone book or whatever.
And
just
my
picking out names.
curiosity is how the hell they get 8 million votes in under 4 hours?
I have no idea.
How does that conceivably possible?
I don't think it is.
I don't think you can count 8 million votes in 4 hours.
I don't think so.
Not even with 10, 20 people doing it.
Well, I mean, you've got the computers doing it too these days. But,
Computers make mistakes just like
Yeah.
human beings.
well, I think they can also be influenced by human hands
Yeah.
as well, as we found out the hard way through people putting viruses into computers.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Or stealing your voice
Right.
and making an AI now.
right. That's another thing I don't like. AIs. We'll get into that another time, but yeah, it's kind of like Terminator, Judgment Day. That's coming. It is. I believe it.
That's a religious thing there, buddy.
No. Not even close to being religious. You ever watched Terminator?
Yeah.
Have you seen all the movies?
Yeah.
Okay. So they let AI loose.
Oh, you're talking about Judgment Day according to the way it was on the Terminator.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's because, well,
Mhm.
yeah, computers took over.
Yeah.
And
So-
why did computers take over? Because they developed freaking AI.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And computers were able to think on their own. They've got computers now that can do that. They've got, they're making robots that can do that. Where will it end? It'll end by we won't have any more human beings on the face of the planet.
No, I agree.
So,
Hopefully it's not in the next, 40 generations.
I
but
don't know. We talk about, it's like I've talked to young people younger than me about having a family, and they were like, I don't want to raise my kid in a society like this. Well, why not? Because, I mean, the world might blow up tomorrow. Well, yeah, that's been like that for many, many, many years.
Mm.
And I said the same thing back then, too, when I was younger. Was I really seriously thinking about raising a child in a society that is at war all the time? I mean, there isn't a day that goes, or an hour or a second that goes by that some country isn't at war.
And
So-
why do countries go to war? I think that goes under the heading what we were talking about at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't like you. I don't like what you said. Oh, well, okay. Have a nice day. See you. Bye.
Right.
Don't come after me because you don't like me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're playing the politics game, yeah, you're going to battle each other because he said, she said, I don't like you. You don't
Right.
like me, whatever.
Yeah.
But in general, as human beings,
Right.
can't we just get along, agree to disagree, dislike, whatever? Isn't that what makes the world turn? No,
Yeah,
no,
we-
wait a
we
minute.
can't
I'm
do that.
wrong.
No, we can't do that.
No.
Mhm. So Bella, I won't say it unless you want me to, or unless you give me the okay. But I'm just curious, who do you want in the office for president? I sure as hell don't want Biden. Biden, I think, has had too many strokes.
Oh, not to mention not the strokes, but the guy can't even ride a bike. He can't walk upstairs. He can't
No,
finish sentences. He can't
No.
talk straight.
And I think
You know,
that we maybe need to
He's a puppet.
we maybe need to change the rules, because what is the rules for becoming a president? You have to be a certain age, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's necessarily a need thing. Snoopy for president, I like that one. But
Charlie Brown for the vice presidency.
yeah,
right?
really,
No.
Lucy.
No, Lucy would be the Speaker of the House.
Oh, she would be. Yeah, no, she would be. Very, very good. So, yeah, what was I talking about? I just went right out the door. That's the way my mind's been working lately for some reason. So it's like I'll be talking about something that was on my mind, and all of a sudden it's gone. So what
The
was
like dislike of, and the people fighting each
it? Oh
other.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be like that all for forever. So it's not going to change. I wish it would. I wish we could get. It's like what was that guy's name from Texas? Ross Perot, was that? He was a businessman. He
Oh, America's billionaire. That
well, he actually ran for president.
yeah, but that didn't last long.
No, it didn't, because nobody wanted him. I guess he was very liberal. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of liberals out there. Oh, we should do this with their money, or we should do this. We shouldn't do that with our money. First of all, I don't think that we should be giving billions upon billions of dollars to our so-called friends and neighbors across the pond.
Our allies, you mean?
Yeah, because not very many of those allies are really allies. I mean, they'll given the opportunity, they'll stab you in the back. I can just about guarantee that.
Well, let's see. Where were we? We were for several years, and as soon as we left, they surrendered. Was it Iraq?
Yeah, I think so.
Where
I mean-
our troops were down there training them how to be better and whatnot. And
Yeah,
the moment we left,
Yeah.
they surrendered.
What do you mean they surrendered?
You
I
don't recall that?
I just don't understand what you're
The
saying.
war in Iraq, or I think it was Iraq, where USA went down there, was fighting alongside of them, training them,
Mhm.
and then when we left, they quit fighting.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's not like they surrendered. See, just quit. They quit fighting. Yeah.
Well, that's just
they-
like surrendering,
and then
isn't it?
And they let ISIS come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's just too much fluctuation.
I mean, people are out there screaming, help me, but you go to help them, and when you think you've helped them enough, it's
Yeah.
time to go because they've learned enough.
Right.
The second you leave, they cower again.
Well, and some other things too, like getting people out of these countries that start up wars and stuff like that. It's like, I'm sorry, if you choose to live in a country other than the U.S. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't really hate any countries or anything like that. But if you choose to live abroad, like you're a teacher in another, it shouldn't be our government's responsibility to get you out. It should be your responsibility.
Well, it all depends on the circumstances.
Well, I just think that if you're going to make a decision to work in another country, then you should be responsible enough to take care of yourself and your loved ones if there's a war that breaks out. Well, I better get my ass back to the U.S.
Well, yeah,
know.
especially when you're sent to warning, get out. There's problems. It's going to be terror or this, that.
Right.
If you get that kind of warning and you decide to stay, well, that's on you.
Yeah.
But if you're told and you're trying to leave,
Yeah.
and then you need help, yeah,
Well, yeah, that would be a different story, I think.
yeah. I don't understand why we are giving billions and trillions of dollars to Ukraine, to
Well, it's like
Iraq. Why?
how many billions of dollars did they find in Iraq that Hussein was
You
hiding?
mean trillions?
Trillions or whatever. Yeah. I mean, what do they do with all that money?
They pocket it.
You think?
Doesn't
or did they leave it in Iraq so it could do some good in rebuilding the country?
who knows? And you
Yeah.
don't. Nobody knows what happened to that money because they don't say.
It's kind of like that Dutch Roll commercial. The world may never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll?
Yeah.
And it says 3.
I'm not all 3. 3. The world may never know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we were talking earlier about,
Guns in school.
well, we were actually talking about the Constitution. That's where we got started. And then we kind of went over to the guns in school. Where does it end? Where does the violence end? I mean, and like you said, what happens if a teacher just, snaps his carrot or whatever, or his or her carrot, and takes a gun out and starts shooting people?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just don't know what's
You
going to
can't-
go on.
You
And-
can't tell me there's no teacher out there that doesn't get pissed off at a child because
Right.
the child has irritated them so bad.
Go ahead, make my day.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Mhm.
I can just imagine Clint Eastwood as a teacher with the Magnum.
Yeah, really.
You know,
Or
you feel lucky, punk.
yeah. Well, do you? Or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Get to the chopper if you can
yeah,
before I shoot you down
yeah.
with my Uzi 9mm with lighted sighting. So yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's stupid. There's just too much killing, too much violence,
Yeah.
and there's just too much hate and corruption in the world, especially our country. And I've said this many a times, and you see it on Veterans Day and on Memorial Day, and anytime that we talk about the military, thanks for letting us live free. We don't live free anymore.
No, we haven't lived free in what, 100 years?
Oh, it's been 200 years.
Come on, think about it.
Mhm.
I mean, we are taxed to death.
Yeah.
There's so many laws and regulations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I miss the days where I can walk down the street and say hi to somebody, they say hi back.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you see somebody walking down the street, you better be looking at the goddamn ground.
Yeah.
'Cause if you're not, they can say, "Oh, this person offended me because
Look
they looked at me funny."
Yeah, really.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
I remember the days where you can leave your car door unlocked, you can leave your windows open,
yeah.
you can leave your house open and
Not
go
anymore.
somewhere.
Good Lord.
But you can't anymore because
No.
you got so much. I think a lot of these people that are stealing,
Mm-hmm.
people that are breaking into homes, is because of
Drugs.
not only the drugs
Yeah.
but the poverty level.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, it's
Yeah.
just so bad. People got to do something to subsidize what they're not getting from their jobs
Okay.
or whatever.
Bella just chimed in. Says, Pat, that's not the government's fault. If you would just reiterate that, Bella, as to what Pat said, because we've been talking about a lot of things, and I don't think either of us know exactly what you're referring to. So if you just chat back in on that, we would appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, there's
Well, if you're referring to what I said about the people breaking into homes and the stealing and whatnot, saying that it's not the government's fault, how is it not the government's fault?
about saying hi or walking down the street.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it really isn't. Well, it is and it's not. It's kind of like that double-edged.
it all
coin.
depends on where you are.
Yeah. The government allows that kind of crap now, where they didn't before. I mean, and I guess allows not really the word I want to use, but if you think about it, we have politicians that have gone to the wayside with agreeing with everything now. So, yeah, we want to have a Pride Day. I'm just using that for an instance, or we want to take down these statues.
Oh,
Okay.
that was a freaking joke.
Still is, but it's things like that, and well, I shot the guy because you looked at me funny. or he looked at me like he was. It just pissed me off. His face just pissed me off. Oh, okay.
So what?
So
Don't look at him.
yeah, don't look at him. Turn the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's becoming a daily thing. It's becoming a daily thing where people can use that plea in court and get away with it. It's just how stupid, because we've got judges that don't lift up the laws. They try to make their own laws.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And they've been doing that for years. And it really irritates me that they can get away with that. They shouldn't be able to. They are not a governing
Body.
Thank you. And the other thing too is, I mean, we get a chance to vote on everything? No, we don't. And a lot of times we the people, and I know there's a lot of people that say, I couldn't give, 3 shits to that.
All right. Now,
But hang on before you start talking again. Let me finish my thought, if you would. It's just you get to the point where I know there's a lot of people that don't care anymore. And that's where we, the people, have fallen short.
well, the government has corrupted so damn badly that we, the people, are starting not to care anymore because the government is just so damn bad. They're not standing up for
It's
us.
been like that for
They're taking away our rights.
It's been like that for a long time. What I'm getting at is that you get to the point where you get so frustrated, and I myself have been this way too, where you get so frustrated, you just kind of wash your hands of the whole thing, and that's our first mistake. Rather than washing our hands, we should get our hands dirtier. And if we want our voice to be heard, we should go and talk to our congressmen or our senators or our governors.
Some
or
of our
whoever.
congressmen and governors are so damn corrupt, it doesn't matter what we say.
I understand that. And that's why we, the people, should be able to vote them out. And there is not that many people that vote anymore. If you look at the statistics,
The dead people vote all the time.
well, yeah, those people vote all the time, but the statistics, we have more people in the U.S. non-voting than we do voting, and that's just a given. That's going to be the way
All
it's
right.
going to be forever.
All right,
So,
you make a good point there.
Yeah.
Now, my question is this.
mhm.
You know how they say 53% of Americans agree with this or 49% agree with that? What 49%? What 50? Were you asked?
Yeah, they do what they call a Gallup poll, and what it is, it's kind of like an understudy that does these polls.
So 100 people say it, and then they automatically say, well, 53% of Americans think this way.
Exactly.
BS.
Yeah, they could do. They generally they do it on. I think it's. I think they ask 1,000 people. I think is what it is.
So
And then
that's their opinion. That's not your opinion. That's not
Exactly.
my opinion.
exactly. And
Are they going to go door to door and say, hey, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I've actually had some people like that come to my door in the past.
You did?
Yeah.
Were they Jehovah Witnesses?
No, they were politicians. No, they were actually survey takers. That's what they said. So, personally, I think that it's just a bunch of bull, because I mean everybody's going to have some sort of an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and they usually stink. At least that's what
No, that's the old
my grandpa
saying,
used to
yeah.
say. Yeah, but yeah, it's where does it end?
Yep.
It doesn't. So what do we have to do in order to reshape our government? I think we should do what you suggested and wash them all out. Wash them all out. Get rid of corruption. Can't get rid of corruption.
No, you're not going to get rid of
No.
corruption completely.
It's like Al Capone
Yeah.
in Chicago. He paid off everybody, including the police, to just look
Look
away.
the other way.
Well, that's basically what is happening here. Like the power companies. You ever watched? It's a great movie. It's called The Distinguished Gentleman, and it's a comedy actually. Eddie Murphy was in it. Remember that one?
think so.
Well, you don't see that on TV anymore.
Mm-mm.
And I can guarantee you, I can tell you why. Because government doesn't like it.
Of course not.
And
Anything the government don't like, they get
because
rid
it's
of.
true. And I'm pretty sure that Eddie Murphy, when they made that movie, it was to show how much corruption and stuff like that is in the government. And
Read the board.
oh yeah. Oh, let's see here. We sit back, wash our hands, don't vote, and bitch on podcast. We do. That's exactly what we do.
But I vote.
I vote too.
I vote.
I do. And yeah, I mean, how do we fix this broken wheel?
The American people need, as a whole,
Yeah.
go down
Mhm.
wherever the hell it is
Yeah.
and say no more.
Yeah.
But people are too afraid to do that because they're afraid they're going to get shot.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing. People can't get along with people anymore.
No, and why?
It's like the Hatfields and McCoys. I don't even remember what I wonder if they even remember what the whole feud was about. A lot of people forget. You know, what are we actually fighting for?
Yeah.
Well, gosh, I don't remember. Did he call me a pig or something like that? Or
Something I don't remember.
I don't even know. So that might be another podcast.
What was the son and the daughter of the two families that got together and unified them
Yeah.
at the end there?
Yeah, they did. So, but not all the Hatfields and McCoys, agreed with that. So,
Well, of course not.
Yeah.
That's just like every family has a black sheep or a couple of black sheep
Oh,
in
yeah,
the family
yeah.
there, you know.
yeah, I'm pretty sure pretty much every family's got one, unless it's a childless family.
Yeah, but
It's like my family tree didn't branch out.
anyway. Did you know that my mama was my grandma too?
Yeah, really.
But anyway, back to the school.
Yeah.
And okay, they have, what are these peace officers in the schools? What are they called now?
Oh,
Not peace officers.
resource officer.
Resource officers.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they armed? I don't
Mhm.
think so.
Well, they had been for quite a long time. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Then they,
Did they
then they
change that?
I think they changed that. I think. Don't quote me on it. I
Okay.
could be wrong.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
But they're telling these resource officers
Mhm.
they can't restrain a child.
Yeah.
They can't pull them apart. They can't touch them.
Right.
Then what good is it?
Yeah.
Then they say let's pull them out.
Well, that's
Then they say let's pull them out of the schools.
that's
Now they want them back.
that's the bureaucrats, though. I mean, when I worked in like group settings, I worked at, I can't mention the name of the place, but it was a juvenile detention facility where they actually lived on site, and it got to the point where you couldn't restrain a child from trying to hurt themselves or somebody else. You couldn't do that.
Sounds like Long Lane in South Windsor, Connecticut.
But
Long Lane is a child detention center.
yeah, and there's been a lot of that crap. I mean, I understand part of it, and I understand part of the rules that they're trying to put in place, because some of those people that get into those jobs, they do it just because they can put a kid in hold. I mean, I know for a fact that's been like that like a couple of times. So, and I agree with the bureaucrats putting in, okay, you can't do a hold anymore like this. You can't do a prone hold, which is you can't lay on the floor on top of a kid, restraining him.
Well, see,
because they've had too many. They've had a death, one death.
Well, see, there was a time where you can take a child, wrap your arms around their chest, holding their arms down,
Yeah.
and crossing your legs across their front
Yeah,
in a sitting position,
Right.
which helps to stand. The only thing you got to worry about is that kid
Mhm.
or a person slamming their head against you.
yeah, head button. I've gotten that
You know,
before. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's a double-edged sword, but it's gotten to the point now where they they don't get any consequences. And it's the government. That's part of the government we're talking about here that has again proven themselves as being idiots because they are not I know they're looking at, well, the child doesn't deserve to be held down or restrained. Well, sometimes they do because they're
going to hurt themselves or hurt somebody else.
yeah, or and that person might be you, So if you can't defend yourself, well, we can defend ourselves by standing out of the way. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
Because you can't always stand out of the way. So,
I mean, they say you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Okay, if I say something, what good is that going to do?
mhm,
Because you're not allowed to do anything.
right.
You can't stop it.
No.
That's how ridiculous it's gotten.
Yeah.
Why
So-
are the kids why are the kids so rude these days?
mhm,
Oh, let's see. You're not allowed to do anything. And when
Yeah.
the kid gets out of hand, you can't yell at them.
That's
You
right.
can't put them in their room.
mhm. So I'm going to pose a question to all those people that are going to be watching this video in the future. I want you to tell all your friends and neighbors about it too. Okay. I want you guys to think about this, and then you can email us or put it on our fan page or whatever. But really, what have you done or what can you do to change our government for the better rather than for the worst? Okay, that is my challenge to our listeners. That's actually my challenge to not only our listeners, but the ones that don't listen to us. And I want you folks to spread the word because I am sick and tired of the government doing whatever the hell they want
And getting away with
and
it.
getting away with it. It's not fair. It's not fair to our people or to any people for that matter. And using your tax dollars for whatever they decide they're going to use it for. Oh, we're going to go out and have a poker game tonight. We're going to use all the taxes that we got today, and we're going to bet it on in the poker game. That's basically what they're doing. So I can say I choose not to let them do that anymore with my tax dollars. And we can do the same thing. Each and every one of us can do the same thing. We just have to stand together and not just sit down and take it. So it's like, what's that song from, was it not Quiet Riot? But,
Yeah, I think it's Quiet Riot.
We're not going to take it.
Yeah, I think it's Quiet Riot.
Twisted Sister, I think.
No, you're right. Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
You're right.
But anyway, we're not going to take it. We're going to fight for the right to party,
Yeah, but you keep fighting for that right to party, and then sooner or later the government's gonna say, "Oh no, you're not. Bang, you're dead."
Yeah.
Or we're gonna slip you a Mickey in your drink, and you're dead.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna put this microchip in you
Mhm.
when you get when you get a shot or something. Nope, we're gonna push a button, and millions of people are gonna die.
Yeah.
Population control. Oh, we don't like you anymore. You're dead.
You don't think that's already happening?
No, well, it's got to be happening.
Well, it's like the Ebola outbreak and all that. I mean, you ever see that movie Outbreak?
Yeah,
Tell me that isn't part of a true story somewhere.
wasn't that part of COVID? What, millions of people died because of COVID?
Well, it was actually made before COVID hit.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. So, Bella, I'm sorry, they fought over hogs, the Hatfields and McCoys. So, you got a pretty mouth, boy.
Dream on, dream
And
on.
you squeal like a pig. That's right. I had to. That's one of my favorite movies, Deliverance. So
I was gonna say Deliverance.
yeah. But yeah, so that's my challenge. If you think you've had enough of what the government's doing to us, then
Even if you do agree with what the government's doing, give us a holler. Let us know if you think it's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, email us, patandbrianviral@gmail.com. You can leave it on our Facebook fan page too. And just let us know. We want to know. Do you really care what's going on? Do you care that your tax dollars are being used for stupid things that, I mean, stem cell research or whatever that is?
No.
No.
No. Hell no. You don't even touch that. Stem cell research, I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah, I do too.
If that's going to help somebody, by
Yeah,
God,
Yeah.
let it happen.
Well, there was another thing before we done for the night here. There was another thing that that was on 60 Minutes. That's been several years ago. Some sort of new gene that they found that they can implant
Oh yeah.
in somebody for newborns, and they'll never get sick. They'll never get cancer, that kind of thing. I just like, well, how the heck can they do that? Why can't they make something like that and
To
put
cure.
it in your system now, and it kills all of those
Mm-hmm.
things? So, yeah,
Yeah.
creating the perfect person.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that is something we can talk about later on, I guess. But
Wow, this hour flew by pretty quick.
yeah, it did, and we appreciate you tuning in with us. We'll be back again next week. Bella, thanks for chiming in tonight. But again, folks, if you are tired of the government, let us know through our Facebook fan page,
Speak up, America.
or email patandbrianviro@gmail.com. Hope you have a great night.
Thanks for stopping by, folks. Good night.